Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the law of retraction. When you're developing your tool belt and you're developing your leadership skills and you're developing your listening skills and you're working on your consistency and you're trying to build influence and you're trying to do all the things that would make you a better leader, there's a law that you need to know about called the law of retraction. And basically, it means for every step that you advance in any phase of your development or your career, there's something that equal and opposite to a greater force will pull you back. You need to be aware. I'm holding in my hand right now is a rubber band. And obviously we all know what a rubber band is. It has a lot of purposes. But if I keep this hand still and I pull against, that kind of symbolizes you moving away. This is your home base. This is where you started, right? And the idea is that here you are now. You're way out here where you can't even see the other hand. But as you keep advancing, what happens to that rubber band? That rubber band's getting tight. There's a restriction. It almost doesn't want to pull any further. But what happens is it's clearly pulling back against you. That's the law of retraction. For every step that you take, there's something that's going to happen. So for example, let's just say that you're moving up the ladder and you're working a lot of overtime. You're putting in the hours after work. You're going in on Saturdays. So to do that, it's a commitment, right? Everybody's got to be on board. But the idea is that every Friday night you have participated in a local card game in your community with friends. 5 weeks in a row now you've missed that card game. And your friends run into you or you see friends in the neighborhood and they're saying, hey, listen, we really miss you at that card game. You got to get back. You got to get back. Well, unknowingly, there's a subtle influence that is trying to take you out of what you're trying to accomplish. You can get caught up in that. You can have a little empathy, a little sympathy, a little remorse, whatever it may be. And you decide the next 2 Fridays you're playing cards no matter what. And that takes you back from where you were heading in the direction that you were going. Does that make sense to you? So when you think about that subtle force that was out here, it won, it's brought you back in. It took you off course to the direction that you're going. You could take this out any way that you want, but when you move up a promotion, and the idea is that you now have more responsibilities, there's more people communicating with you, there's a lot more things that you have to deliver for the company, there's decision making that goes on, and at one point you've arrived and friends are applauding you and you're like, hey, you got that job, you're doing a great job, you're putting the time in, you're really doing well. But those forces are hard. That's one side right there, and that's pulling away. It's kind of separating you from the pack. The pack wants you back. They want you back with them because if you leave the pack, it will make them feel bad that they're still in the pack. Does that make sense to you guys? And the idea is that, so it's lonely, the expression, it's lonely at the top. Well, the top is every level that you reach that you've never been before. And there's a new top each time you go to a new level. And there's another whole level of retraction going on every time you move forward because something wants you back. It's easier to stay settled in the mediocrity in the middle where everybody else is. It's much harder to get out, to advance, to leave the pack. Does that make sense? So when you're striving to be more than you are, when you're striving to advance in some way, and it could even be just mentally. Anything that you're working on, it's going to take time. And when you take time away from the things that you used to do on a regular basis, decisions have to be made prioritizing what's important. Is this worth it? Can I do it? What will the benefits be? Will the things that I'm losing not affect me? Or the things that I'm giving up really affect me? You have to ask all of that. So when you're ready to step into the next zone of your life, no matter what it may be, the law of retraction is real. It's absolutely real. And this is something we're going to talk a lot more about in detail. But the fact is that you have to be aware that just think about it. Anytime that you have started to do something, you took an extra class, you were in working all the time and you went back to school. It got hard, right? The time away from your family, the time out of your pattern, the commitment for the homework, the reading that had to be done. You still got your work projects going on. That's retraction. Can you handle that? Because at some point, you will keep working hard. And when you're really locked in, you'll pull so hard, you'll break this rubber band. You won't care about what's in the past. You won't care about what you lost. You don't care what you're giving up. It's all about what's in the future and the benefits up there. Because remember, as you keep moving forward, there are benefits up there that you've never even had before. And you see them. Or maybe you know somebody that's in a position that you want to be in. And you want the benefits that they have. Right? But to get there, you're always going to be pulled back in the other direction, where you have to keep stepping forward in this direction. Does that make sense to you? Retraction is real, and I want you to be aware with the wherewithal to understand that it's normal to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Some people have the ability not to take steps back because they're laser focused. But if you want to win, you just at least need to be aware there are going to be elements against you from getting ahead. Does that make sense? All right, until the next time, it's Chuck. Have a great day. Bye-bye.